Hello, greetings and salutations. This is Bardo coming at you with my second video. I want to tell you I am so excited. My first video, I got 102 unique viewers and 16 subscribers. And I just want you to know, each and every person that watched this and liked it and subscribed, you make my heart tingle. So hit that like and subscribe if you're interested in what I'm doing here. Okay, today we're going to be talking all about collecting your city. This is probably going to be one of the longest videos that I do. I really want to keep most of my videos to 5-10 minutes. This one might be more like 20 to 30 because I'm going to be going through the entire process of collecting my city. That might take a little while. So this one's going to be longer than most, but I think this is a good one. I want to accomplish three main things with this video. I'm going to talk about why I chose this topic, why this is such an interesting thing to me. Second, I'm going to go ahead and collect my city, kind of walk you through that. And third, just kind of go over that and offer some suggestions for you. So why did I choose this topic? Well, it seems to me there really is no more significant part of playing this game than collecting our city, right? Like, you work hard to put your city together, to put the right buildings in your city. This is when you get to reap those benefits, to gather that fruit. This is when you really make a difference in your game. And this is something that we all do. I mean, this is something we all can relate to because we're all collecting. I've noticed that the experience of city collection changes enormously over time. I mean, it kind of depends on where you're at in the game. I have watched a few live streams, and it's just really intriguing to me, where people are at in the game and what their city collection looks like depending on that. This can be a significant project every day, or it can be super quick and easy. You can come over here and, click this collect all. I think it costs 5 diamonds to do that, and I maybe have done that once. But you can make it quick and easy if you want, or if you want to, really be strategic about the order and the things that you're collecting and when, then it can really be something that can take a little while. This game is such a long-term game, and we get so used to what it's like in our current situation. It takes so long for things to change dramatically in this game, and over time we forget what it's like to collect our city. When you watch live streams of people who are, well advanced over you, it kind of gives you a glimpse of what you can expect later on in the game. And when you watch a live stream of someone that's maybe not quite as far as you, it shows you, gosh, you kind of forget what it was like when you were at that stage of the game. All right, I'm going to go ahead and collect my city. I'm going to keep my comments to a minimum while I'm doing this. But once I get done, I'll kind of go through and talk about some of the things that I think were probably most significant about it. So the first thing I do, obviously, you can see here I've got my blue galaxy. I'm at level 91, so it really gives me a good chance of getting, I think I get 15 chances at a double reward. So I'm going to open that up. You can see it has initiated my Blue Galaxy helper on FoE, which I'm telling you, if you don't have FoE helper, you need to get it. They actually just updated this tool recently, and they made some really nice changes to it. What I love about this is it shows you what you're going to get, and you can sort it. I have been focusing a lot lately on looking, obtaining certain fragments. So when I sort this by fragment, I see, okay, here's all the different fragments I'm going to get. Now, obviously, some of these, my Blue Galaxy will give me double, and some won't. But at least it shows me this is what I'm going to get. Over here, when I sort by forge points, you can see this is what I'm going to get from each one for forge points. So depending on what I'm, prioritizing, I'm going to pay attention to that before I start collecting. Obviously, I mean, right now I'm putting a lot of emphasis on collecting fragments over forge points because there's a few buildings I'm really close to being able to drop and I just want to get those fragments. So, I pull that up. Okay, the first thing I'm going to collect is I'm going to go ahead and collect my Pirate's Hideout. You can see that's going to give me 48 forge points, and maybe that will double. Let's just see what we get here. I got the double on that, so that's awesome. That puts me at 102, which means I need to go over here, and I've been dumping these into my AO. Trying to build that up. I'm trying to get to like level 130 as soon as I can. So I'm going to go ahead and collect that first. That's a good start. I'm going to click through my recurring quest so I can get back to where once I get my next 100 forge points, I can drop them in and get the benefit on that. So let's see, the second thing I want to collect, let me go ahead and collect my Tower of Champions. You can see that's another 48. Let's see if I get a double on that. Got the double on that. I'm off to an awesome start. So I'm at 96. I'm going to go ahead and collect my cape. That's going to put me well over. So now I'm at 167. Drop that right here into my AO. All right. Now, and that's the thing. You can decide if you want to go through these recurring quests and get the benefits. I need the goods. We're in the middle of GBG, and our treasury needs the goods. So I'm trying to get as many goods as possible so I can go ahead and donate those to our guild. So really trying to get as many goods and awesome things there as possible. Okay, the next thing I want to collect, again, I'm putting an emphasis on fragments. So there's a few things for sure. I love my my Sunhaven temples over here. I'm gonna go ahead and collect those because I'm trying to get the fragments for the selection kit for the Feast and Fables. I love the grilling groves. I love those because you do not have to have a road for those. So I'm trying to get as many of those as possible. So I'm going to collect these. And I got the double there. I'm 3 for 3 so far. Let me see. I got another one over here. Collect that one. Did not get the double on that. That's all right. I'm still got a good batting average going today. Okay, I want to go over here and collect my Vibrant Autumn Vineyards. I've got 2 of those at the max level, and I got that doubled. And one more. That one also doubled. Man, I'm kind of killing it today on getting my Blue Galaxy is in effect. So let me drop these forge points, get the recurring quest. Man, I'm getting some goods for the guild. That's going to come in handy. Now, obviously, going through this right here, obviously this takes time. I mean, this is where things start to really get bogged down and slow you down. But if you want the goods, and if you've got a high CF, and you're going through these recurring quests, these are going to be awesome for you. Okay, so I've got 9 left. Let me regroup here and see where I'm at. I have got some other fragments I'm looking for, and I'm going to go ahead and collect from my granny tree here. Trying to get those fragments for the cider garden, and I got that doubled. That's really great. I think I got another one over here. No, that's a shroom throne. I'm going to collect that because I need those jumping pumpkins. That did not double. Here's another shroom throne. I'm going to go ahead and collect that as well. That one did double. Okay. Let's see. I've got another granny tree over here. That one did not double. That is okay. I'm going to go over here and collect my, how do you pronounce it? Katibo candy. Love the upgrades to the guardhouse selections on that, and that one doubled. I love, I've got a number of the Nutcracker guardhouses, and I'm trying to get those upgraded to level 2, so I got the fragments on that. Okay, let's see. Let me go ahead and, now one thing I want to show you on this, the Blue Galaxy, one of the things that's great about this helper right here is, okay, this Aegean Resort, right? You can see half the time it gives me forge points, half the time it gives me blueprints. So, this helper is so helpful because I can look, okay, boom, I already know this is going to give me my forage points today. It's going to give me 36. So if I can get that doubled, I'm going to get 72 out of this. So let's just see if this one comes through on me. Yes, it doubled. Yes, I got 72 forage points there, which puts me at 146. So I got to dump these into my AO. Click through the recurring quests. Okay, I've got 3 more uses for my blue galaxy. So what am I going to do? I need to be strategic. I do want to I want to pull the vibrant sunflower oil press. That's 35. So if that one doubles, and it did, so now I got 70 on that one. And then I also you know, another great example of why the Blue Galaxy Helper is so awesome is because, okay, you can see, I've got 3 Druid temples, 1, 2, 3. And, you know, same with those. I mean, sometimes they give me forage points, sometimes they give me goods, metals. You can see the breakdown there. Okay, got a 40% chance on forage points. Without the Blue Galaxy Helper, you have no idea. But when you use this, you can see, oh, yep, this one is going to fire. Now, which one is it though? So you click this right here and it pulls up your map. Oh, it's this one. It's the one over here by my gardens. So, you know, I mean, I know what I'm going to get from this. I'm definitely getting forage points. It's just a matter of whether it gets doubled or not. And that one did not double. That's okay. I'm doing okay today on those. Okay, I've got 1 left, but I'm maxed out on forage points here at 100. So let me dump those into my AO. Go ahead and get my rewards. And then, of course, once I've used up all my Blue Galaxy charges, then, you know, it gets a much easier because you don't really have to make decisions. You don't have to look and see what what you're going to get. I've got 1 left, so what am I going to spend that on? I think I'm probably going to spend it, well, I haven't used it on my Grape Stomping Festival, and I'm going to use that because I'm trying to get as many, you know, that gives me fragments for my autumn vineyard. So I did that one. So I've used all my charges now, right? So now this is where it gets a lot quicker. I'm just going to start, I'm not going to put too much effort into the recurring quests at this point. I mean, if I really wanted to maximize efficiency for it, I would pay a lot of attention to how much coins each one of these is pulling, and I'm not really going to do that. So for time's sake, I'm just going to collect. I'm just going to get what I can, and then once I get to 100 forge points or more, then I'll go ahead and dump that in. So I'm up to 70, and I'm just kind of clicking randomly here. It doesn't matter to me too much at this point, you know, what I'm actually getting. Okay, I'm up to 101, so now I need to dump these. And I want this to be set on coins, and I want it to be set on forge points because, you know, I'm getting a lot of coins when I'm collecting here. And so even though I'm not being as strategic as I could be, I still want to go ahead and get that bonus, get that reward, and see it already fired there. Even though I'm already only up to 43 forge points, I did get a ton of coins there, which fired that. So I'm going to wait though until I get to 100 forge points. Now I'm at 124, so now I'll collect both of them. And for the coins, I got a blueprint, and I need to put in my forge points. 124 to the AO, which fired this. Got my goods. And then I'm going to put this back at coins and forge points so I can just keep kind of mass collecting and getting those. All right, here we are. So, and I just do the click and drag, right? I'm not clicking each one individually. I'm just clicking on the screen and dragging over. You guys probably are like me and you're totally annoyed by the pop-ups that come up now when we're collecting all these at once. It slows you down, right? Because you got to stop and you got to hit close. I really wish they would do something about that. I mean, it didn't used to be this way, but just here a few months ago, this started getting really bad. You know, with all the different things that you get from collecting, and then you get these pop-ups coming up. Okay, so I need to drop my 100 again on my AO, and then collect for my coins and my forge points. Again, get it back to coins and forge points. All right, click and drag, click and drag. Here we go again. This is definitely the most boring part of this, in my opinion. You know, because it doesn't really, you know, you're not having to think about it. It's easy, but it's boring. Click and drag. Again, all these pop-ups that just slow you down. Collecting these druids, which, as we know they weren't going to give forge points because we used our Blue Galaxy helper there, so I knew what I was going to get from that. Okay, I'm maxed out. Drop these back into AO. Get my rewards. Man, I might have to add a little background music to this. One thing I kind of do, once I get close to 100, and I went over there, but sometimes when I get close to 100, I'll go ahead and click my my CDM, or sometimes if I'm not dropping on my AO, I mean, because it gives me like over 120 forge points. But since I'm dropping into that and I'm not, you know, I'm not collecting on it, then I can't do that. All right, a few more here. These don't give me as many pop-ups, so that's cool. Okay, now I'm at 93. This is what I was talking about before. I'm at 93, and I'm trying to reduce the amount of times I'm having to like drop on the AO. So I'm gonna click my CDM there, which puts me at 157. You know what I mean? Like instead of dropping it on there at 103, I'm dropping at 157. So that means, I mean, it's all about deciding, okay, just how efficient do you want to be? I mean, you can be super efficient, but how much time do you want to invest in it, right? Like that's one of the things that's to me is interesting about this game is we all have limited time. So, just trying to balance, I mean, how much do you want to put into this? And the great thing is you can choose. I mean, the way the system is right now, you can kind of choose just how much you want to put into it. Again, as I mentioned in the beginning, you can bypass everything I'm doing right now, and we could have gone over here and done the collect all, and boom, you're done, right? I mean, but I mean, as you can see, I'm trying to do this quickly, but I'm also trying to be kind of smart about it. I want to make the most out of the BG, the Blue Galaxy. So, okay, I'm almost done here collecting. I'm not going to worry about, my COA right now and my truce and my Himeji. I'm not going to worry about those right now. So yeah, so here we are. We got to the point. I mean, my city is collected. So, If you hung through that, thank you. I hope there were some things about that that you kind of picked up on that you noticed. I would love, to hear from you. What you noticed about that. I do want to take a minute now and just talk a little bit about um, about that process, right? The main things. I mean, again, from the beginning, I decided, fairly early on that I'm trying to get fragments. So by using the Blue Galaxy helper, you can see what you're going to get. So you kind of prioritize things. I'm going for the Granny's apple trees for my cider garden fragments. I'm going for shroom thrones for my pumpkin fragments. I'm just trying to get as many of those as possible while still collecting on the ones that are the massive forge point producers, right? Like my Pirate's Hideout. I mean, I only get forge points from that 40% of the time, and this was, it was in the 40% this time, so I went ahead and did that. Same goes for my Tower of Champions here, 48 for that. That one though that's a guaranteed. I mean, that's, you're getting that every time. So I'm going to be using, I'm going to be collecting that with one of my Blue Galaxy charges every time. Um, but also, we talked a little bit about the recurring quest. To what extent do you want to maximize what you're going to get on that? This process could have been 3 times as long if I would have been, every single time I'm trying to get just enough to satisfy the requirement for the coins, 800,000. I mean, if I'm just very strategic and meticulously going through, I could have gotten a ton more goods. I mean, I could have got a lot more goods, but you know what? I got quite a bit, but it was enough for me. But that's just something to think about. Now, my suggestions here are the things that I would suggest. I mean, if you do not have a Blue Galaxy, man, I would strongly encourage you get a Blue Galaxy as soon as you can, because you can see. I mean, I got a ton more resources, more forge points, goods from that Blue Galaxy just then. I mean, I am sitting here in future era, so the size of my map is, I mean, it's I mean, it's a lot bigger than some players, but it's a lot smaller than some players. So when you're trying to maximize your space, when you're doubling what you're getting from the buildings that you got in there, that's going to really help you a lot. Also, I highly suggest, collect everything at once. Um, that's, rather than just having different things that are popping up, or what I call maturing and ready to collect throughout the day, just pick a time, and that's your collection time, and collect everything at once. Once you start, keep going until you're done. I would try to set up a time to collect at kind of the same time every day. Now this can be a challenge. Obviously, we have lives, and we can't always do it at the same time every day. But what I would suggest is, just think about how when you're collecting, what that means is that, that collection time is going to be at least 24 hours later for you tomorrow, right? So if you're collecting at 6 o'clock in the morning, you get up, you're having your coffee, you're collecting at 6 o'clock, you know, guess what? The next day, you're not going to be, you won't be able to start collecting until like 6:01. And the next day, maybe it's not until 6:02. Each day that you're a little bit past the time that you would normally start, you're you're pushing that 24-hour clock ahead. So I know we've all experienced this. This is nothing new, but obviously you want to reduce the amount of dead time, what I call dead time, when your buildings are just sitting there uncollected. Because, and I'll probably spend a whole episode talking about this, but dead time is such a big deal, because we spend so much time, looking at, I mean, right here, you look at the stats of your buildings, and you're like, okay, which ones am I going to plant? Which ones am I not? We spend a lot of time thinking about that, right? How much time do we spend thinking about the dead time? Because if you think about it, all the, if you're collecting each building almost like right at the 24-hour mark, that's so incredibly efficient because that means, in a span of a week, you're getting as many collections out of that as possible. But if one day your collection time is 6 a.m. and then the next day it's at 10 a.m. and then the next day it's at noon, the next thing you know, you're losing on a bunch of collections. And I find myself wondering sometimes, like, we spend all this time thinking about our stats of our buildings, but look at what we're losing when we have too much dead time. I mean, that's kind of a big deal. Anyway, that could be a whole nother episode. But another thing I want to mention, I didn't mention this before, but with the helper, um, since the game has started coming out with all these tiny little buildings here that can be motivated, right here, you see all these blood lilies that I got from this current event. Um, Man, that really, those take a lot of motivations, and it's getting harder for people for everything in their city to be motivated, especially if you don't have a lot of friends, if you don't have a lot of guild mates. It's becoming a problem where those things aren't getting motivated. You can use this helper to see which things have been motivated. I should have showed you, because you see the stars here on the side. When there's a star, that means it is a building that can be motivated. If the star is filled in yellow, that means it has been motivated. That is a huge benefit to look. Now, obviously, since I just collected, you can see none of these are motivated. But tomorrow when I go to collect, I mean, I did kind of glance down at that. Tomorrow when I collect, I want to make sure that the buildings that I need to be motivated are motivated, and I can see that there. And if they're not, then I can use a self-aid kit, or if you need to. So that's a big deal. Pay attention to those motivations. Try to click and drag your mouse when you can. Here's the other thing too. I mean, this game, don't stress too much about maximizing every aspect, right? You don't worry about 100% efficiency. None of us are going to be 100% efficiency. So it's all about finding that balance between, efficiency and enjoying all that the game has to offer. So those are the main things I wanted to point out to you. I really appreciate you hanging in there. I would love to hear from you. Please comment below. I would love to hear about your collection experience. When do you collect? Is there a certain time of day that's your kind of collection time? What is the collection experience like for you? How many forge points do you get? I think it's fascinating, the kind of hauls that people get, based on, where they're at in the game, what era they're in, and what buildings they've got. Some people that get, 1, 2, 3,000 forge points in a collection is just mind-boggling. But I'd love to hear that from you. When you're getting all your forge, what do you typically do? Do you take those and invest those into one of your great buildings immediately? Do you dump them on a 1.9 thread, on another player's GB? I'm just curious what you typically do for that. And then, what did I miss? I mean, are there some things that you noticed that I should have done when I was collecting my city, or things that I have not pointed out in this video? Please share your experiences and your ideas and suggestions. So again, thanks for hanging in there. This has been fun to put together. I hope to hear from you. If you haven't, hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.